Everyone, my name is Matt Gardner and I run Gardner Tech Group. This is our website. We do AI training, we do AI implementation for businesses. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But the point of this video is I want to show you a little bit about AI, what it is, how to use it, and I'm probably going to throw a lot of information at you. Don't be scared. It will be a lot, but I want to give you some ideas on what AI is, how people are using it, and a little bit about what's coming. So again, I run Gardner Tech Group. It's my last name. And we offer AI services to different businesses. Let's go ahead and get started. So you've probably heard of ChatGPT from a company called OpenAI. They're probably the most well-known in the game. They've done a lot in this space. There's also a tool called Claude and Perplexity. I'm going to talk about those three right now. ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity all start with what looks like a chat prompt. And prompt is a key word here. Prompt is the word that people use to refer to what you tell the AI to do. So in ChatGPT's case, I can say, what's the normal weather in New York City this time of year? And it will go and it'll figure it out. Last bits of winter into spring, 55 to 65, etc. So you can do things like that with ChatGPT. Now, you can also do other cool things with ChatGPT. And the way I want to think about this is, if you're doing mundane tasks, if you're doing routine things, you can use these AI models, which is ChatGPT and Claude and Perplexity and all the others out there, to do things for you. So generate a schedule for my 11-year-old who goes to school from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., has, let's say, volleyball practice at 4 p.m., and then gets picked up at 5. Include time to eat dinner, do homework, very important, and watch some TV or have free time. So instead of me having to go and do this, I'm just going to ask it to do it. And let's see what this looks like. So wake up, get dressed, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, head to school. It assumes it takes 10 minutes for me to get to school. We're going to change that in a second. Snack and relax, volleyball, practice, drive home, dinner, homework, studying, free time, TV, video games, hobbies, get ready for bed, chill down, wind down time, and sleep. Now let's change this. You'll find yourself doing this a lot. Prompting, there's a whole term called prompt engineering. I wouldn't worry about that too much. It's like sanding a piece of wood or whittling it down. You're going to be tweaking it as you go along. Now, it assumed it's going to take me 10 minutes to get to school. Let's say it takes 45 minutes. So it takes about 45 minutes to get to school. Can we adjust schedule here? Also, for dinner, I want to make sure he eats. Okay, I give it a little bit more information. I told him it takes about 45 minutes to get to school. And you can see it's changed my schedule here. The commute to school now starts at 7:10 a.m. instead of the previous time, which was what? 7:50. That's better. I also asked it to make sure dinner has focused on a little bit more on a healthy diet. So includes some sort of vegetable or whatever that is. This looks pretty good, and I think this will help. Having a schedule always seems to help our kid. So something to look at. Now, again, I didn't have to go and craft this myself. I can copy and paste this. I can put it into a Google Doc. I can print it out if I want, and then put it on the wall or whatever I want to do with it. Claude and Perplexity are also AI tools, and you can do very similar things with them. But before I continue, can you generate in comic book style? Now I'm going to ask it to generate an image. This is another thing you can do with these tools. So pictures are fun. He's 11 years old. He's going to like pictures, hopefully. We'll see what it comes up with. Now, while it's generating, let's go and check out Claude. Claude is by a company called Anthropic. They're probably one of the other really big players in this space. You have Apple, you have Google, Microsoft is using a product called Copilot, which they marketed, but it's built on top of ChatGPT and OpenAI. So it's built on top of this here. Claude is very well used for doing a lot of those types of things. So in schools, in businesses, it's very often you got to write a custom email or a letter or a summary of a financial data. So let's go and do that. Can you give me a summary of the S&P 500 for the past week in the format of a story to tell a child? Now, again, this is children's themed, but let's see what it can do here. And it should start generating the tale of the big market garden. Once upon a time, there was a magical garden called the S&P 500. It had 500 plants that grew money instead of flowers. That would be nice. So you can do something like this. You can have it generate bedtime stories. In fact, what's really cool with a kid, and again, using the child reference here, you can start by having it tell you a story with input from the child. So if they wanted a chocolate monster and a candy cane that saves the day, you can start by doing that and write different chapters and tell them bedtime stories every night. That's fun for everyone to create and to read and engage in. In fact, that's something we've been doing, slightly different, more with animals than chocolate monsters and candy cane heroes. You can craft this. Okay, great. Can you, Eli 5, explain like I'm 5? It knows what that means because the AI model has been trained to understand lots of different context and slang and dialect. What the stock market is? Now, you probably know what the stock market is if you're watching this video, but a lot of people might not. And maybe I need to explain it to a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old or a 20-year-old what the stock market is. I know when I was a kid, I didn't understand it. You own part of a company, but you don't work there? I don't get it. Anyways, so this is going to explain it. You can use AI to do a lot of these mundane tasks. Now, if you're in the business world, you probably want to create a custom email for a client. And this is where prompt engineering sort of gets its name from. You're trying to tell the AI as much information as you can to get the best result out. Good input usually gets good output. If you put in a short, sort of lazy prompt, you might not get what you want. You might, but the more data you put in, the better. So let's see here. We're creating an email for a potential client. They're currently on a different, let's say we're selling car insurance carrier. They have Geico. No offense. We want them to come to Travelers. They are 25 years old, like baseball. So it likes baseball, and never makes phone calls. So texts are best. Can you make this the size of a text message that's compelling to get them to reply? Now, I've left a few typos in here. That's okay. I think it will figure it out. Notice you were with Geico, but as a fellow baseball fan, I'd love to pitch you on Travelers Insurance. At 25, you could save big with young drivers' discounts. Quick quote right now from your phone. No calls needed. Text back quote to get started. This is an actual use case we're doing for some of our customers, and they happen to be in the insurance business. The idea of having a bespoke message resonates much more with people than a generic spam message. And one thing about spam messages, or messages that might feel like spam or that they're automated, once someone blocks that number or blocks that email and marks it as spam, it ruins the rest of your conversations with them. So you really have to hit it out of the park on the first try. Let's go back here. Okay, this is actually pretty cool. So this has created us a comic book style schedule. I didn't have to generate this. I'm not the best artist. I can draw a stick figure, but I can't draw that. This actually is pretty cool. I'll probably use this after this video. Pretty impressed. And again, I did not have to spend a ton of time doing this. I gave it a lot of information about what I wanted, and with a little bit of finesse, I kind of got there. Pretty cool. Let's talk about another tool, Perplexity. Perplexity is like a Google replacement. It's a search engine using AI. So you can say a whole bunch of interesting things to it, and it will go and search the web. If you're comparing cars, if you're looking at buying new cars, let's say we're looking at buying 2 trucks. Can you compare and provide suggestions on the best trucks, such as F-150, Toyota Tundra, let's say Chevy Silverado, etc., and help me figure out which one to buy. I'd like it to have ventilated seats. And Perplexity is going to, and this is the free version, so it's trying to get me to upgrade, but it's going to go and it's going to look at a bunch of different sources of data, and it's going to put together some recommendations. It recommends the Ram 1500. It's got ventilated seats, tells me about the engine, the towing, and why to choose it. The F-150, this, that, the other thing. So this is where Perplexity is quite useful, is when you're trying to find data out. It will actually search the web. ChatGPT might not have all the latest information because of the way it's trained and the way the AI model is built. So these are 3 tools I highly recommend you check out. There's free versions of each, and you can do some cool stuff with them. I know a lot of people are using them in schools. A lot of people are using them in business. Students are using them, and I'm using them personally as well, and I'm also using them for my business. There's a lot of other things happening in the AI space. GitHub is the prominent player for developers, software developers, to host their code. Most companies are using GitHub, and GitHub offers something called Copilot. Again, Copilot, just like the Microsoft Copilot, which Microsoft owns GitHub now, they're both built on top of ChatGPT and OpenAI. So they're using those products to generate code and to help you write letters in Word or extract financial information from an Excel spreadsheet. ChatGPT and OpenAI have also introduced something called Sora. So Sora actually generates videos with your prompt. Here's some examples here. So fair warning, they might be creepy, but here's a cool little grumpy unicorn, I guess. You can do all sorts of interesting things here and generate videos. Oh, this is actually pretty cool, this table looking thing. These people are working on a butterfly, like factory workers on a butterfly or construction workers. So AI has a lot of different use cases. I hope throughout these videos I can help keep people up to date, help keep you up to date. What's going on in AI? How am I using AI? How are our customers using AI? How are people saving time, reducing inefficiencies, and becoming superhero versions of themselves by using AI as their personal assistant, as their copy editor? Maybe they're using it to help produce little videos or generate things for their child. There's a lot of use cases, and our goal is to demystify that and to help people and small businesses with AI. I know that was a lot of information. I hope you like this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, smash the subscribe button, whatever you're supposed to do on YouTube. I'm new here. Anyways, my name is Matt Gardner. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.